Daniel Davis is a retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel, and he joins us. Mr. Davis, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
War with Iran averted, at least for the moment. Is this the time to reassess staying in Iraq?
Well, we definitely dodged a bullet with this one because it certainly could have gone wrong in many different ways. And I'm very grateful that it didn't. But I don't think there needs to be any assessment at all. I think that the evidence and the facts on the ground have been overwhelming and abundantly clear for months that we need to withdraw our troops from from Iraq and Syria both. And really, this whole issue started, and it's a perfect example of why. So on the 27th of December, that's when the American contractor and other troops were killed and wounded in that rocket strike, which is then what spawned the attack on the embassy, and then we had the Soleimani issue. So all those things happened because of these rocket attacks that had been going on against American bases out there. Now, we're not doing any kind of military mission in Iraq or Syria that has anything to do with our security. All those troops are doing right now has been sitting in the desert, defending themselves, and they're basically waiting to see if they get attacked with anybody. And that is no way to use our troops. We definitely need to withdraw them.
Why would our leaders do that to our troops? Leave them in the middle of a hostile country. As you said, their mission consists of defending themselves against rocket attacks they can't predict. Why would our leaders do that?
Well, you know, there's just this I guess, groupthink here in some of establishment Washington thinking that just, reflexively pushes back against withdrawing troops anywhere, whether it's Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, you name it, Africa, anywhere. Any talk, and they always talk about how it's going to cause all these cascading things, which is a bunch of rubbish. I'll just tell you flat out, because I've been there. I've fought in these kinds of engagements. I've been in many of these different parts of the world, and I can tell you they don't prevent any of that stuff. We prevent it other ways. All this does is put our troops at risk. We do need to pull them out.
Yeah, it's striking how people who've spent a lot of their lives out in the field on these bases tend to conclude what you've concluded. And people at think tanks in Washington, of course, have another view. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate that.
Certainly, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.